And I also agree with the whole comparison to Chris Brown. Again, there is no other big R&B person to really compare him to.
Right.
So I get it, but I think he's in his own lane. I think also a lot of the comparisons are coming from a lyric that he had in one of his songs where people are saying that he dissed Chris Brown. Mm-hmm. He said, niggas talking about verses with me, please stop. No, you think he is, but baby, he's not. And people are saying that's about Chris Brown. Because, I mean, who else has he been in conversation to do a verses with? Other than Chris Brown. So, a lot of people is not, Chris Brown fans don't play about him.
Usher, don't be saying stuff like that on your record and you don't accept the verses.
But why would he?
Because that's what the fans want.
But let's just be all the way honest. I know we love Chris Brown, but Usher is on another level, than Chris Brown. He doesn't need to do a verses to be relevant.
The last 10 years, I don't know. Last 10 years, what other album is noteworthy?
Chris Brown would benefit more from doing the verses with Usher than Usher would benefit from doing the verses with Chris Brown.
That doesn't mean that you can't compete. If you're saying stuff like that, get in the ring.
I'm getting on the Super Bowl, baby. Why would I get on Instagram with Chris Brown when I'm finna get on the Super Bowl stage?
Because it still benefits you. And if you say that you the best and you the king of R&B, then prove it.
I am. I'm about to do the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but what has he done prior to the residency? What has Usher done in the last 10 to 20 years?
It still don't warrant getting on
in the
Chris
So
Brown.
You not having a noteworthy album in the last 20 years does not warrant you getting in the ring?
I just dropped an album and I'm finna do the Super Bowl.
Right. We're talking
about. But you
about.
want me to get on Instagram with Chris Brown?
We're talking about the last 20 years.
And we're talking about right now.
If you are the king of R&B, what have you done for R&B in the last 20 years?
What is Verzuz gonna do that's gonna change anything?
Prove that you are the best because you said that you're the best. He just said it in the record. So prove it.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
So you scared.
I don't feel like he's scared.
Then do it. So then why would you not do it? Does it not only benefit you? Does it benefit only Chris Brown or does it benefit Usher too?
No, because let's just be honest, being tied to Chris Brown is not a positive in the industry. So how does that benefit him?
But you're not tying yourself. You're competing.
Nah.
Yes.
What people are going to see it as is Usher giving Chris Brown a platform. And we know a lot of people still have issues with Chris Brown. Let's just be honest, he's blackballed.
That's not giving him. Chris Brown has been on the billboards consistently for the last 20 years. He's not blackballed.
Again, the way that Usher is going, Super Bowl, mainstream.
But he's been mainstream.
You don't want to hit your wagon to Chris Brown.
Versus is culture. That is not mainstream. That is for us. Do it. Why would you not do it? Maybe I'm just selfish.
I already said why. So I already said why. I ain't gonna keep saying it.
But it doesn't hurt. How does it hurt him though? I guess that's what my question is.
It's kind of like what I said with Meg Thee Stallion. You already won. Why step back into the ring? I just don't.
Right, but that's after they got in the ring though. That's after they competed. That's not like your example would be Meg not saying nothing to Nicki. Or Nicki not responding back to Meg, because I mean you can make the argument, why would Nicki respond?
Yeah, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. Not
with
but not
the competitive. If you competitive
the trajectory that he's on, I don't feel like.
But then don't say that. Then don't say what you just said on that record. If you don't want to even compete, if you don't feel like it's beneficial, if you don't want to prove it, then don't say that. That's just like saying, "Oh, I can beat you in basketball," and then somebody say, "Okay, well, grab the ball." And you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm above that.
I guess.
Don't say nothing, bro. Anyway, so what was your favorite record on the album? Usher, man, look, I'm telling you, dog, you can't be saying stuff like that and then not hopping in the verses, man. Now, if the money ain't right, that's a total difference. Yeah, obviously the business got to be right.
They ain't got no Usher bag.
The business got to be right.
Some of the people they asking to come on verses, they ain't got the bag for. You're not going to see Beyonce on verses. Well, you're not going to see. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got that bag.
Well, they can get the bag. They can get some investors. We gonna see.
We'll see.
All right. Favorite record?
Honestly, I really like the lead single "Ruin." I really like that song.
Ruin was fire. Ruin was fire.
Outside of that one, I like the song with her. I can't think of what it's called.
I don't have the features on there, but I think I know what you went on. You're talking about the one that was on the Color Purple soundtrack. Okay.
I really like it. And On the Side.
On the Side was fire. That's one of my favorite ones.
Side chick songs always gonna hit.
They always gonna hit.
Always.
Always gonna hit. I Am the Party. Please You. Those were the ones that stood out to me for sure. And then Ruin, of course. I also like Stone Cold Freak. You know, all them sex songs they always hit too, especially when it's Usher. So
people say, well, what Usher done did, but at the end of the day, whether he did some or not, he's still the talk of R&B. You still comparing people to Usher. You ain't comparing Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody come out, Usher's still the blueprint.
Can't go off a reputation. You got to put out something. And for the last 20 years, you ain't been holding it down. People talk about R&B being dead. Okay, well, if you are the king of R&B, then you need to be consistent. That's all I'm saying.
That little EP he put out was fire to me.
I think if you were to ask the general public what has he done in the last 20 years, most people would be hard pressed to even name one song. Now, Daddy's Home and all the stuff he was doing with Ross, he had some singles, but again, body of work matters. Body of work matters, and especially when you're doing a versus because it's Billboard, it's hits. So if you going to go off of 8701 and Confessions, that's fine. But like you said, that was tight.
Okay, so if Chris Brown and Usher do a versus today, who do you think is going to win based on body of work? Not who you like better, based on body of work.
Based off of body of work, I got to go with That'd be hard. I think in the past, I said Chris. I think Usher got more than Usher got 20. Usher definitely got 20.
They both got 20.
When I was thinking about it before, I was thinking more or less as crowd and audience. And because Usher really hasn't been consistent, you have that age group that doesn't really know that Usher. So if we're going off of like public opinion, I got to say Chris. Just because he's been active the last 20 years. So you're getting 2 or 3 generations of people that know your music. For our generation, I think we would lean towards Usher just because we grew up off of Usher. So I think part of it is who you grew up on. But I would say
I give Chris his due because Chris is the new school king of R&B for their
but
generation. I didn't grow up on Chris. Chris Brown came out when I was graduating high school.
For sure.
So I grew up on Usher. So for me, it's Usher.
For sure.
You feel what I'm saying? For the new school, it's going to be Chris, which is fine.
Right.
I mean, somebody said it, like, honestly, Usher and Chris Brown are not in the same lane.
No.
They're not even in the same, they're not peers. If you really want to be honest, it's just the fact that
they're from two totally different generations.
Simple as that.
But if they were to go, I would just for the sake of argument, I would go with Chris.
I'm standing beside Usher.
Period.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
So y'all let us know in the comments, who do y'all believe would win out of an Usher Chris Brown versus?
Yep.
And just comment Usher or comment Chris or CB, however y'all want to do it.
We gonna see.
All right, cool. So we gonna keep it going. So we gonna get into the heart of the pod, man. We gonna get into the internet wins again.